It is 8:40 Newstalk Sauga 960 Raw. Mike Richards, where we have mentioned often that Eric Hawerchuck is going to join us and talk about not only his dad, but something they have started called HawerchuckStrong.com. It is a new initiative. It supports important causes close to the heart of Dale and the family. So you can show the Hawerchuck Strong merchandise to show your support. As of course, as you know here on this show, where I do not think there is aside from the family being blood related, I don't know if there's a bigger fan of Dale Hawerchuck than David, who sits across from me. But right now we bring Eric, Dale's son, in here this morning. Good morning, Eric.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Well, it's great to have you on. In some ways, I wish it was a very much different circumstance. The one thing about cancer that you come to realize is that it's not only just the person who's going through all that, it's how it affects the rest of the family. And that person knows that. Trust me, your dad would know exactly what the family goes through because of what he's going through. And that there's that emotional drain. And as I mentioned beforehand, as you will speak firsthand, the appointments, the waiting in the hospital. Yeah. I mean, it's days, it's hours of your life, and that's not even the treatment. That's just having to get to places depending on the hospital or hospitals or the specialists or the tests. It's the blood tests, and of course, you put the pandemic stuff in there. Now it probably takes even longer. So, first of all, how's your dad doing? Again, being sensitive to it. Can we say where he's getting treatment as well?
Yeah, so he was up at RVH. He's in a tough battle right now. It hasn't been easy on him or the family, and like you said, all the waiting and the appointments. It's a tough thing to deal with, and we're trying to just deal with it the best way we can, and we're trying to push him along. It's been hard on all of us, but we know we're not the only ones going through it either. Like you said, you yourself are a survivor, and there's so many families that go through this on a daily basis, and we're lucky to have so much support from so many people, and not everyone has that support system around them. So we're blessed in that way.
Yeah, certainly, Eric. It's great chatting with you. As far as the website is concerned, great idea. I love it. Can you tell us the foundation of it and how this was brought up, how this actually almost the formation of what a lot of people should be visiting today, and tell us more about the site itself.
Yeah, so HawerchuckStrong.com. With COVID and my dad being sick this year, we kind of had a feeling we wouldn't be able to do his normal charity golf tournaments that he does. He's been doing those since 2002, and he's sprinkled donations to charities all over Ontario and Manitoba. Because there's so many charities that reach out, and we want to try to help everyone as much as we can. So this year, especially, a lot of these charities are really struggling because a lot of their events have been canceled, and people don't. These are one of the ripple effects of what COVID's doing, and charities are the first ones being hit. So we felt like, my dad sat down with Andrew Jackson of Jackson Events and John Webster of Scotiabank, which are the two guys who have run this tournament since 2002. They sat down and they wanted to build this website and make a way for us to raise some money for these charities that are really being hurt right now.
We're in conversation with Eric Hawerchuck here on Newstalk Sauga 960, Raw. Mike Richards. The one thing that is pretty obvious is not just the love that people have for your dad, but when you're emotionally engaged with someone, and your dad has always had this since he's played, there's a roller coaster kind of effect. I think that makes it even harder. It seemed like not that long ago, there's pictures of your dad waving his hands as he was leaving the hospital. And so that feeling of elation for all of us, and for anyone that is remotely connected to the hockey world, I mean, that was a very great moment. But see, that's what cancer does. That's why it is just the meanest, evilest thing I can think of, where it takes that and then kind of puts it back into your face. That's the challenge. And to have support. So when people go to things like Hawerchuck Strong, or when you're wearing that shirt, Like, you can tell people it means something. It means something to you. It means something to your dad, obviously. It's not just the monetary part of it. It's the feeling that people support you and that you're loved. Because when you're fighting it in the hospital, and there's a lot of dark days in there sometimes, I just couldn't imagine what that would mean for someone like your dad to see that.
Uh, yeah, to my entire family, but especially to him, it keeps pushing him along. The support's been amazing. So many hockey players have reached out, and just people, fans. He reads all the tweets and everything, and it's an incredible thing how many people. I didn't realize he was so popular until I saw Dave. Until I heard from Dave, but in this last year since he's been sick, it's the outpouring of support has been incredible.
Yeah, it really has. HawerchukStrong, by the way.com has a ton of products. I ordered a shirt on Thursday or Friday, I believe. I'm hoping to get it sometime this upcoming week. You can get long sleeves, short sleeves, women's shirts, kids shirts, coins, hats with the HawerchukStrong 10 logo as well. So definitely check that out on the shop portion of HawerchukStrong. You talked about the hockey community. It's funny because he plays in a small town like Winnipeg. You guys are in a small town in Ontario, in Barrie, King City. He played in Cornwall when he was in the OHL and so forth. But it's almost a global thing, isn't it? Though, like you guys are getting contacts throughout the world just because of who he is, what the hockey community is all about. And if you want to pick a tighter sport, I don't think there's anything tighter than the sport of hockey.
Oh, I agree. It's been incredible. We really tried when my dad got diagnosed again. We really tried to get this website up and running as soon as possible. And we've been scrambling to get everything together. And like the first day we were live, we got an order from Germany, and they were having a problem with it. And we're like, oh, geez, I didn't even think about Europe. We gotta go check it. So we've been scrambling in that way a bit. So I know everyone's been patient, and we're getting all the orders out as soon as we can. And it's just been amazing to see all the support, and we're ready for it.
Now, because it's the first time we've had a chance, at least for me to talk with you, sometimes when you're the son of a famous dad, people read into things. They think things are given to them. They think that it's relatively easy. And I say, people are people. Like it really, you have to cut your own way. And no one handed Dale anything in his life. He worked for everything he got. I'm just curious, for you yourself, golfer, correct? Pro golfer?
Yes. Yep.
So let's hear about that too, because I was very fascinated when I saw that.
Well, I liked golf because to your point, people always, when I played hockey, it's like, well, he made the team because of his dad or this or that. Golf, it's just cut and dry. You shoot the score or you don't, and It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. The numbers don't lie in golf, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why any accomplishment I've garnered through golf, I know I earned myself. And my parents always pushed me in that way, and they were really supportive. Whatever I was doing, they didn't care what I did as long as I was working hard at it.
Now, did you go to the scholarship route, or what was your path?
Yeah, I went to Central Connecticut in just outside of Hartford.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a small D1 school, and it was great. I was able to play right away, and it was a great experience. I actually didn't ever really plan to play pro. I came back, was working for a while, and went into some charity scrambles with my boss, who had Andrew Jackson at the time, and we kept winning these scrambles, and I started playing pretty good. And the next thing you know, I had all these clients asking me to go play golf. I was playing golf 3 or 4 times a week by the end of the summer in charity scrambles.
The ringer.
Yeah, they're starting to put my poster up in clubhouses.
Love it.
Yeah, the sandbagger. Yeah, if you see this, don't believe it. Yeah.
So sorry, Eric, what keeps you busy these days then? Because you have the website that obviously is a big portion of not only you but the entire family. Golf is actually kind of back for the most part. I know we're in the middle of the biggest global pandemic of our lifetime, and hopefully nothing bigger than this. But I mean, it's a difficult time. What is your day-to-day schedule look like?
So actually, I was down in Arizona. So I actually am just finishing my quarantine. So I have been going crazy in this house. Luckily, I've been able to work on the website.
Yeah.
But I'm free at midnight, I guess, tonight. So really looking forward to that and getting back out on the golf course. I actually signed up for those Mackenzie Tour events at TPC Toronto in start of September. So I got that to work towards.
Well, as I said, I appreciate that you took the time to join us here this morning. And, because a lot of people, as I said, there are certain players in this country that we recognize as great players, as substantial in the hockey world. But then your dad falls in the category of, one of the more loved guys. That there's an emotional attachment. It's like when you mention a guy like, for instance, like Doug Gilmour. Well, no one calls him Doug Gilmour. It's either Dougie, it's Killer, it's one of those things. Your dad's the same way, and so people are very, very much engaged with what happens. And I think now that they can find out, this will go out later on today. They're going to see this on Twitter. We're going to promote HawerchuckStrong because it all counts and it all matters. And I think the fact that people will be able to contribute and also feel like they're helping you and your family. That might be the most important thing. It's that emotional thing. And as I said, I know your dad appreciates it because he appreciates anything that's ever happened to him. So hopefully we can help out a little bit. And Eric, it was great to get to know you. I really appreciate you this morning.
Thank you guys for having me on, and thank you for everyone who's supporting us. And we're going to do a lot of good things with the money we raise from this. And you guys have a great show. And again, thanks for having me on.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Eric. You take care. Say hi to your dad for us.
I definitely will. Thank you, guys.
Eric Hawerchuck joining us here this morning. He has been talking about HawerchuckStrong. And once again, if you want to go to it, it's exactly how it's spelled, HawerchuckStrong.com. And as Dave mentioned, you can shop for all kinds of cool things. The shirts look great. The women's one too. I might get one for Linda because they look awesome. And again, it's raising that money. As they said, they know they're not the only ones who go through this. So they want to raise as much funding as possible for hospitals. He just mentioned RVH, the Royal Victoria Hospital in Barrie, which is very involved. Their reputation is spectacular, by the way, just spectacular up there.